On the Mount Rushmore, we got your faces up there as pioneers of the space. So I wanted to introduce Beckster, Mystery, to my Tristan social audience. If you guys would...
Howdy.
Beckster's my wingman of 16 years, and in my opinion, the best pickup artist I've ever seen. And I've had a good chance of meeting pickup artists around the world. Here's one thing. I've discovered that all the great pickup artists that I've met around the world share a commonality. They make their sets, or groups of people that they meet, laugh. There's a laugh track in their pickups. So, just yesterday, earlier on in the day, I had noted that there were men that are not pickup artists that were sitting with some girls, boring the girls, and weren't smiling, laughing, holding court, making humor. Mm-hmm. The guy was lacking everything, right? But the best pickup artists have a laugh track. So if you're making them laugh, you're doing the right thing. Mm. That's how I see it.
And I picked up, you drop little nuggets on your Instagram. And for a little while, I had struggled with night game. Day game, I've done thousands upon thousands of sets, but a night game where it's a louder environment and it's a different ball court.
You have a few sticking points on that.
Yeah. But I saw one of your videos that said, change her mood, not her mind.
That's right.
And I'm just like, I'm trying to have a conversation, a full-out conversation inside of let's just stop doing that right there.
This is a dance club, not a sit and question life club. So you can't get too deep, right? It's more surface level interaction in a nightclub environment until you move the set 3 to 5 minutes in to a sit-down location, what we call lock-in. Mm-hmm. Once you lock a girl and her group into a sit-down situation, it buys you another 5-10 minutes. And that's the dream, isn't it? Sitting next to the woman of your choice, right? Maybe even arm in arm, getting to know each other. But you have to handle the logistics of getting to that position first. And that's where cold approach pickup comes in. You're going to be meeting people, standing up, opening, I would hope, in an indirect manner, not hitting on them on the open and thereby alienating the friends, right? But initiating a conversation so that they can start investing in it. That, I think, is the best thing to do. And then 5 minutes in, 3 to 5 minutes, if, I'd rather sit early than not sit at all. You can get into that glorious position of getting to know the girl that you're interested in. It happens in stages.
When you have this knowledge, was it somebody that passed it down to you? Was it, self-discovery, or what was the process?
Self-discovery for me. How was it for you?
Same.
I mean, you did.
I did Ross Jeffries. There was some nuggets there. But I'm a night gamer, essentially. But I started with day game. And I was like, I have to come up with my own stuff as well. And I eventually became a nightclub host, hosting VIP clubs. So it taught me a lot. And I guess I just went from there. It was trial and error. It's the same thing, same different sides of the world doing the same thing. And so we had to fail a lot. So though when boot camp comes along, you don't have to fail as much.
Well, you guys have pioneered so much, and like I'm successful now because I get to stand on the shoulders of you guys and like the framework that you guys have laid out. So our generation has comparatively super easy, where you have hours upon hours upon hours of infield or theory, and from our generation to your generation, thank you, truly.
Thank you for that kind words.
No, definitely.
It's been a fun ride.
I am not necessarily the top dog in this community. There's always going to be another top dog, but they can't take away first. I'm the first to provide infield boot camps. In fact, I'm the man who called it a boot camp. And the whole industry calls them boot camps now.
And day game, night game, you call
I've also set the standard for the fees. I arbitrarily selected a premium fee, and the entire industry has upped their fees to match what I have set.
I think that one of the greatest things, and many of them, that Mystery done is put the structure into it. Because most people go out there, they don't know what they're doing. They're throwing everything at like the kitchen sink at it, but they don't know where they're at in the game. And if you know where you're at, you can actually proceed much better. Competence, right?
Competence over confidence. It's one thing to be confident, but I'm less concerned with having my students feel confidence as I am to getting them into a talkative mindset, a talkative mood. if they're talkative, they can convey their personality, right? That's more important than trying to get confidence. I'm more into competence, knowing what you're going to say before you say it. Knowing your opener, for instance, you know? If a person knows what they're going to say before they say it, they can trust one person to be in that set, to be on their side when they need them. And that's you. You know what you're going to say. You've said it before. You're going to say it smoothly with congruence, without ums, ahs, and awkward pauses. You remove all that, and you're putting your best foot forward. That's how I see it.
The question when I say, hey, ask me a question on my Instagram stories, about 75% of the guys, it's like, how do you overcome approach anxiety? How do you overcome approach anxiety? And it's, if you're an actor without a script, you're dead in the water. You have no idea what it is that you're going to say. You wouldn't trust yourself. You wouldn't trust a home builder that didn't have a blueprint or a tool belt or a toolkit to enter into your home. So what is anything different? So when you have like a set framework of, hey, you're going to say this, you're going to move this, it becomes more of a step-by-step dance instead of trying to get on the dance floor.
It's gambit-centered thinking. A gambit is a game piece, whether it's an opener, whether it's a demonstration of higher value gambit, whether it's a qualifier question, whether it's a comfort game, they're all gambits. They're all game pieces. So I'm a proponent, or my school of thought is gambit-centered thinking. Rather than going freestyle, which you can do in the infield. What infield does is it teaches you what works, right? So you can learn without training with another person who has come before you, and you can learn from infield, but you'll have an accelerated learning curve if you seek a mentor. That is the number one best advice I can give to somebody who's new in the game, is seek a mentor, go out infield with them, learn the ropes from him and from infield, from the girls as well, and you're going to have an accelerated learning curve.
Instant feedback.
Instant feedback from a coach and from the set itself.
I'm curious about, how did you guys get connected? What was the origin story of the dynamic duo here?
A friend of ours said, I was running the VIP clubs, but I was also running boot camps. And he said, Mystery is doing a book tour. And I think it'd be good if you get all the London PUAs to come down and Mystery can give a talk. And I was like, of course, I've always wanted to meet Mystery, because I remember a long time ago, it's like, you game so much, and like, who would I really want to meet? And I asked my friend, he goes, there's this guy called Mystery. This is a long time ago. And I was like, that's the guy. And I even envisioned this is going to be a friend of mine in the future. It's definitely going to be a wingman.
Game knows game.
Game knows game, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And Mystery came straight to me and shook my hand, looked me in the eye, probably because I was next to a hot girl. And then after the talk, which was amazing, the nightclub opened. So then we started gaming in a nightclub. I brought a couple of chicks home. We took them for a good ride, and the rest is history. We traveled the world many, many, many times over for about 16 years now.
That's right. And we've done, according to Facebook at one point, now this is going back to,
and that's even a long
8 years ago, it had said 115 cities we've been to together.
Wow.
So we've since done, I would say, over 150 boot camps together. And boot camps are an extreme weekend. I mean, they're called boot camps for a reason, right? There's a lot of walking that takes place, a lot of interactions that are going to take place within many events or nightclubs. We're going to take the boys out 2 or 3 times per night, 3 different venues per night, and make sure that they have enough interactions, right? That's why we call it a boot camp. We've done over 150 boot camps easy.
What are some of the signifying factors of a good boot camp?
Well, for our example, anyone can learn from a boot camp. You can be a total beginner or you can be super advanced, because there's you can always ask a question at any point. Now, it depends on the city what type. For example, here, we're going to go to the beach clubs by day and do the lecture in the beach club. And if a set goes by, they can practice immediately, right? A group. Does your viewers know the terminology of pickup?
It's I would say rudimentary.
Yeah. So a group of girls or a girl, they can go and instantly do that.
Interestingly, not to cut you off, just the thought is, Words are things.
Absolutely.
So I have coined an entire lexicon of words like IOI, IOD,
Yeah.
DHV, DLV. IOI stands for indicator of interest. IOD or neg is an indicator of disinterest. DHV is a demonstration of higher value. And then the dreaded DLV, the demonstration of lower value, which you want to try to minimize. These are just 4 of many different words within the lexicon of pickup. And by defining these words, you make them real. They become techniques. You learn the word and you learn a new technique.
Yeah, and also with that, the structure, we lay out the structure, then the material to go with it, the gambits, the openers, the DHVs, stories, demonstrations of high value, and fill in the blanks and see where they're at, and then they create their own on top of that with the 5 things that they can put into a story, leader of men, successful risk taker, willingness to emote, and so on.
Pre-selection is number 1.
Of course it is.
Right.
And then the delivery, and then we go out at night and practice the delivery.
Delivery is everything, but so is material, because without it, what can you deliver? And if you do it in a structured manner, the objective will be a little mini objective. It isn't, let's get the girl on the open. Instead, it's, let's open without telegraphing interest. Once we have opened and we've reached that hook point, 15 to 30 seconds in, then we're off into demonstrating higher value. Once we have some indicators of interest from a woman, then we can move forward to qualifying them, which is a high valued male behavior. That's something that came from Ross Jeffries. It's so important. It's not just a gambit that you run. It's a phase with the objective of giving indicators of interest to her for something she said, not just for her anatomy. And then we move forward to moving the set into a lock-in position so that we can build comfort with her. Some guys jump over all of that pickup, all those pickup phases, and go straight to comfort, and then they get pissed off when they discover that she's not attracted. She's perhaps polite and indulgent of your conversation, but it leads nowhere. And then 10 minutes into the set, she says, well, it was nice speaking with you. Gotta go now, bye. And you lose her forever, right? So you have to do it in phases. And you can get good at each phase. I say fall in love with the phases, not with the girl. That way you have these mini objectives that lead to the next phase without jumping over phases. And that's what structure is all about. Know the structure of a pleasing pickup. It's not 3 minutes to getting a phone number. That is what teenagers do. Can I have your number? Right? Instead, it's about 25 to 40 minutes of interaction with the woman so that she'll close you. She'll ask you for your contact information. One of the best contact information exchanges that Beckster has come up with, I believe, is simply saying, are you Instagram friendly? That's it. And
Or
then, of
WhatsApp
course,
friendly.
Or WhatsApp. It's called the double opt-in, where 15 minutes after that, you say, how foolish of me. I'm data overwhelmed on my Instagram. Let me get you on my WhatsApp, right? So you get a double opt-in. Now you have 2 ways of contacting her. That's a lot better than just saying, can I have your number?
The first one's like a lead magnet.
Sure.
Just in case some cop block comes in and pulls her away or she has to go. So just in case you get that, but it's flaky, right?
Yeah.
So then you, later on you say, oh, how rude of me, I trust you now. Are you WhatsApp friendly?
It's beautiful.
Right?
It's beautiful. I see, and the reason I ask now is because you say words are things, thoughts are things, absolutely. And I see the magic pin on your
that's
shirt
right.
there.
These are my 3 top important things. Back to the Future, been very influenced by that movie. Magic, which is something I do in every set. And I'm Canadian. So this tells a person a little bit about me without ever having to say a word.
Sure.
Right.
Absolutely. What does magic mean to you, and what does magic mean to you? Like what?
Magic has changed my life. It has opened up doors. It's opened up sets. It's allowed me to convey my personality through my art form. Now, you don't have to do magic to be able to perform a good pickup, but it helps. Just like singing or playing the guitar. You bring a girl over to your house and she brings some of her friends and you have some of your friends over and you pull out the guitar if you can play it. That allows you to express your personality to these people, right? And create a moment. I don't play the guitar, but I do sing, and I also perform magic. Magic is great in field. You've watched me perform magic in field. How does that?
It captivates a room. And again, you don't do it on your target. The target watches.
That's right. The magic isn't in performing the magic to the woman of interest. It's in performing it for her friends, and she gets the peer approval.
It's a tool for an artist. We call it an IVD, an instant value demonstration. You can instantly demonstrate your value to somebody because they get blown away by it.
So amazing to see you guys obsessed with this. This is a true obsession.
Yeah, we got to be by now. Otherwise, we would have quit years ago. It's like 26 years now. We've been doing it.
Become married to the game.
And I wanted to ask you guys, you both seem very young in your spirits and your souls. Is this pick up in social skills?
Flattery will get you everywhere.
No, it's true and genuine. You guys seem just enamored with it, like in love with it, obsessed with it.
It's actually a love-hate relationship for me.
Tell me that.
The hate part is, I hate that there has to be a game.
You were telling me that earlier,
Right?
yeah.
But the love part is that I've gotten good at it. That's the love-hate in this game, right? So my heart has not hardened. It has not turned into a lump of coal, though I have been heartbroken. I'm the king of heartbreak. You know, a lot of people think, oh, you're sleeping on a pile of girls. You know, girls are hanging from the chandeliers, your mystery, right? You must have a hardened heart now from all the failures or the loss of love, right? But I still have a diamond in my heart. I'm still believing in love. And what we play is love game. It's quite literally solid game is love game. If the woman falls in love with you, and you can do that by being a lovable person.
Right.
If she falls in love with you, she will give her body to you as a shared experience.
Interesting, super interesting. That brings up the...
Well, there's an extra bonus. When we walk around the street and as time goes by, people get married from our stuff.
Yeah.
And they have kids from our stuff or girlfriends. And they'll see us in the street. Wherever we go, they'll see people, you know, especially Mystery gets recognized. And people come out and go, these kids are because of you. Can we have a photo? This is my wife. And Mystery goes, for me? So yeah, we go, well, them kids exist because of us. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I had an experience today. Somebody came up to me and said, hey, this is my girlfriend that I got because I was watching your video.
And it felt good, right?
I had to pull this out. I had to pull out the camera and be like, wow, thank you for this genuine moment that you shared with me.
In fact, I would say that's why I keep doing it. It is not financial gain. I consider myself a go-giver, not a go-getter. In business, you should be providing a service. So be a go-giver. Provide a service that can help others. And you will get reciprocation for that, right? That's the transaction business side. But then there's the service side. So I'm more service side. I'm more of a go-giver than a go-getter.
A lot of people get into this because they have an ego or they want to make money. And I think that's the wrong reason to get into this. It should be because you're passionate about it. You want to enhance your own skills. That's how we got into it. We just wanted to do it for ourselves and fell into this, you know. But yeah, I think the new breed. I'm not saying there aren't great new breed, but there's a lot of people that are just marketers, and that's all they're in it for. They're not in it for any love. They're in it just to take and not give.
There's an art to the pickup arts. This is pickup science, certainly, but there's also an art form to this. There's something to get good at here. You can get into this game and get good at something. What is that something? Your gambits, your game pieces. If you have 10 gambits that fill in your timeline, or at least the core material of your timeline, you're good at something. Get good at opening by running openers. Get good at demonstrating higher value by running DHV stories and IVDs, instant value demonstrations like magic, or singing, right? Or comedy. Comedy's huge. You can laugh all the way to the bedroom that way, right? Also, there's qualifier questions. Know how to elicit from a woman, getting her to invest in you by asking quality questions, right? Rather than closed-ended questions like yes or no questions. Ask them things such as, I'll give you an example. If you could be anything in the whole wide world, what would you want to be? That's a much better question than saying, are you single? Make sense? And then you're off into moving the set into a sit-down situation, what we call lock-in. And then you're off into building comfort with her by running comfort gambits. Like Murder, Marry, Shag is the one that I offer as an example. You ever played Murder, Marry, Shag?
It's we refer to it in the States as Marry, Kill.
Yeah. We just do the softer version.
Yeah, that's
We're old school.
Well, not just that, but we represent the countries we're from when we travel.
Yeah.
And this is world-class pickup. So I want to put my best foot forward in that case.
And also, like you were saying, and what's on the course, we give them a guideline of 30 proficiencies. There's more, but when you get advanced, 30 proficiencies where you can rate yourself from legendary to absolute zero, along the way. And you can actually map out what you're getting good at. Each thing you're getting good at in them proficiencies. Is it how good are you at merging sets? How good are you opening the free set? How good are you at backwards merging? How are you, open loops, DHV stories, and so on, moving the target, disarming the AMOG.
Yeah.
Alpha male other guy.
Alpha male of the group, alpha male other guy. There are a lot of techniques to get good at, a lot of gambits to practice until the delivery is perfect. And if you can sequence enough of those gambits together to fill that timeline from meeting her to beginning a sexual relationship, you will have a life change. Your timeline from meet to sex is going to skyrocket. That timeline is going to improve until you have what we call consistency. That's what every POA is looking for.
Absolutely.
Every pickup artist is looking for consistency. You see the girl, you get the girl. But not by just opening by saying, I like you, do you like me? I tried that once. Doesn't work.
And it's very much what is on the internet nowadays. It's I call it, my game has so much room to grow, and I'm so happy to be sitting here with you guys to be able to see, like, damn, this iceberg is so deep. But when I look at other people on the internet, it's a recurring theme of, it's a question of where'd you get that? Get what? That beautiful smile. And I've seen thousands upon thousands of videos like that. It's like, okay, it's time to evolve the game. And you guys are the example of the evolution, which is,
well, there's another thing that you can do to see your progress, and that's start, stop, continue. So you do a set, and you can write your 12 sets for the day, right? That's the game, 12 sets a day. And you can say, you do your one set, and you go back, you got your sheet, or your phone these days, we used to have a pen and do it, and say, what should I start doing in the next set that I didn't do? What should I stop doing because it didn't work, like leaning in, for example, pecking, we call it. And what should I continue to do because it works really well? And then by the end of the day, you've got a great little algorithm, and you go, I'm not doing that one anymore. I'm going to continue to do that one. And tomorrow, I'm definitely going to start doing this one.
Stop, start, continues. You do that after every debrief. A debrief is when you get home at the end of the night. If you don't have a girl, you and your wingman will say, well, what did we do wrong? Why aren't we pulling girls tonight? And you can just go through your stop, start, continues, and your improvement will be seen day after day after day, week after week. It'll improve dramatically.
But on boot camp, every time they do a set, we give them the start, stop, continues instantly, because sometimes you don't even know what you're doing wrong. I'm sure when you're training people, you're like, you can see exactly what they're doing wrong, but they wouldn't have a clue, and they might live their whole life approaching girls and never see it. And that's the value probably of, filming as well, filming yourself.
Yeah, I mean, the value that you guys provide outweighs any money that they could ever give to you guys, because it's a true transformation of character, true transformation of skill set.
Good for business too. Nothing like having a beautiful girl in your life to validate you. People want to do business with a man who has a beautiful girl on his arm.
Or two.
Or two. Just don't tell your mother that.
You guys have created an entire language, like you said, a lexicon of this. This is talking.
There's a weird side effect from it that we've noticed. Another thing, apart from people getting loads of kids and so on, the other side effect is, for example, if you say like Tony Robbins, who I think is awesome, Tony Robbins teaches millions of people, right?
Yeah.
Well, we probably teach thousands, over the timeline. And we have so many people come back and say, we're millionaires from it. I'm sure we've got a really high ratio of people that become millionaires out of it from the side effect because they're more confident. They know how to deal with people. And again, they have a hot woman next to them in life.
And they smile more.
Yeah, because they're getting
Smiling
some.
like a celebrity, like you do. You smile like a celebrity.
Yeah, you've got a great
You know,
demeanor.
Matador style. Remember James Matador from the TV show The Pickup Artist, my wingman?
No.
Well, you're gonna have to.
I'm gonna-
watch
yeah,
The Pickup
yeah.
Artist. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, we'll send it to you.
It's designed for you. It was also designed for women to watch. It's a reality show, but it's about lovable lonely coming to me and learning what their dads never taught them, the elegant art of the cold approach pickup. So Matador had this, this thing with big muscles.
The guns.
What we call the guns, right? His guns. Very intimidating. But he'd smile like a celebrity. Man, was he charismatic. I mean, legendary. Smiling goes a long way. That's a part of delivery.
Yeah, because if you've got guns, right? If you don't smile, people get intimidated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? But you're smiling.
Do you know
and
what
they love
it's
it.
like to be attracted to someone bigger and stronger than you? Maybe.
Olga.
We were talking about Olga. The name is a deal breaker name for me. Except there are a lot of beautiful Olgas out there, And we're in Bali where
We got Russian,
a lot of
Ukrainian.
Russian Ukrainians come.
We just, as long as she can't bench press me.
That's right.
Yeah, but to speak on that, I've definitely subconsciously picked up the smile and the open body language, open hands, open neckline from watching a lot of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Will
Yeah, no
Smith.
doubt. Will Smith. I met Will Smith. He actually, sitting with him for a while, had influenced me to think that I could do what he's doing, as an equal on a couch, shooting the shit together. He influenced me to do my show. I literally would not have done the Pickup Artist TV show were it not for my meeting Will Smith. So I dedicate the courage that I got to him.
There's two people on this couch that are influenced by Will Smith. So if you ever see this one day, Will,
He's in town in a few weeks in Bali.
really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
And so is the boxer,
Mike Tyson.
What Tyson. He's just known as the boxer to me.
Oh man, with your guys' relationship, how has it grown over the years? What type of trust do you guys put in each other to?
I can read his mind. He
Tell
can
me
read
that.
my mind. We have ESP together. When we go in field, Beckster uses different material than I use because we're in the same sets together, right? So what I do is I'll open a set or he'll open a set. We'll merge groups, and when we do, he'll take over. I feel safe. I can sit back and let my wingman shine, right? And same with you. You open up a set, bring me in.
Indeed.
I perform magic for them. I raise their buying temperature and then throw them back on.
Yeah, and there's times you have to split the set and get a bit more deeper with each girl. But there's also the accomplishment introduction, AI, which is a different thing in this day and age.
Right.
But AI, where he might go to the toilet and I'll DHV him. I'll make him sound cool, right? But if you're doing it in front of the girl, it looks like you're just bigging up your friend.
Right.
And likewise, when I go to the toilet, he'll say he's really humble, but and big me up.
Or just as simple as when he's not looking, pointing at the girl, pointing at him, and doing this.
Yeah, that got me a 5-year relationship.
Fair enough.
I was in set. Do you remember?
I remember that.
And he
set.
just
that
went
was,
to the girl when I wasn't looking,
That was near when we first met.
and she commented years later that helped.
That's right. That's right.
So speaking on relationships and where you guys are at in your lives, your love lives, what does the future look like? What do you hope for? What is it that you are
The
looking
one.
for? The one?
We're always searching for the one.
Always looking for
But there's many ones out there.
Yeah.
I have 2 children. One, my young one, rather, is 10 years old. His name's Vegas.
That's a great name. That's awesome.
My daughter named him. That wasn't up to me. And my daughter, Dakota, is 18. So they're my life. So how is my relationship life right now? It's streamlined in such a way that I've got my kids. They're old enough now to know that daddy's single again. And I'm now looking for a travel partner. So I've come to Bali because I know that everyone here is a traveler. So this should be, I'm hoping a cakewalk.
Yeah, we get, girlfriends and we'll travel with them now and then, but obviously sometimes relationships complete.
Yeah.
So,
they never end.
complete.
and then it's good to be single for a while, and sometimes they like gaming with us, which is great.
The bittersweet moment is after a boot camp, you make a whole bunch of friends that you get to see every day, during the week you're in that city, but then you have those bittersweet goodbyes at the end, and then we're off to a new city. I would like a woman to join me to the next city and be a part of my boot camp. That's a part of the lifestyle, is going out, making friends, and bringing your girlfriend with you. That to me is the dream. We've had that before in the past, where our girlfriends were friends, and it would be, the foursome, the four of us, heading out to a new city to run a boot camp. That is ideal for me. So that's what I'm looking for. What are you looking for, Nick?
Well, before we get to that, Mystery's got this unique skill of, when we go there, he'll find an instant girlfriend technique, and we'll be there in that city maybe a week, and he's moved in with her on the first day, right, out the hotel or the Airbnb, and he's got an instant girlfriend, and then we're off to the next city to do the next boot camp, doing a boot camp tour or run, and they're with us, they're coming with us already. So instantly, from being in that city, we're taking the girl to a new city, new city. Before we know it, 6 months have gone by. So it's brilliant.
One of the tours that we did was called Mystery is Single Tour.
Shall I tell about it?
Yeah, why don't you
Yeah, please.
So we did this big marketing that Mystery is Single, so you're going to be getting super infield now, right? Like really going for it. And it was the second day of a 6-month tour. The second day of boot camp. We're in the queue to go into the club, the second night out. Just in the queue, we're not even in the club yet. Over the shoulder, starts chatting to this girl. We get in the club. He's working on her. And then another set opens. That girl goes away for a bit. He's opened another set. It's getting on really well. The other girls are really attracted to him. I've gone off with another girl. I come back and I see this girl basically got Mystery up against the wall making out with him. And I said, what happened? I only left for a moment. And he said, well, what happened is she got jealousy plotline, came in the set, the second set, the girl from the queue, and he turned over to her and said, you got to fight for me and it's worth it. And she just grabbed him and started making out with him. And then that was his girlfriend for the next 3 months. And he moved in with her that night.
Yeah, I got into a relationship right away, so we had to change the name from Mystery is Single.
Yeah, it was not single anymore.
Changed my business plans.
That's beautiful. You guys probably have a bunch of stories together, like
Oh yeah,
a whole list.
It's been a big ride. It's a long
emotional.
ride. Yeah, it's been emotional.
Do you have any standout students that you think of and be like,
Oh, yeah.
they just absorb?
That's a loaded question. Of course.
Well, there's exceptional ones where you just think, right, this guy needs a lot of work, but it's normally the underdog that shines, and not the cocky guy on boot camp. It's the one that shines, like that is that you think there's no way in hell that he's going to get anything on this boot camp. He might have to do another, But no, they do. They all progress massively, and it makes me always gives me a recheck. The game is real. The game is real, man.
The who's who of POA coaches in this industry, a lot of them have come from training with me. You've got Tyler Durden, you have Cosmo, winner of season 1 of The Pickup Artist. You've got Zanius from the book The Game, who is now known as Todd V, Todd Valentine. These are just some names popping in my head immediately. There are quite a few people who have become technically my competitors within this industry, except for the fact that we've done boot camps together. So they're good friends.
Yeah, they're all friends.
They're all friends. What I have noticed is that if there's fighting happening amongst the coaches, it's because they haven't met. That's it. There's people who fight me online and are against what I believe, like gambit-centered thinking, the school of thought of group approach theory versus single approach theory, etc., it's because they haven't met me. That's it. The people who have met me know differently.
Yeah, and that was a big thing when we were touring, especially in South America. But when we tour, we meet a lot of PUA companies, and we might do a quick little joint venture. They'll put on an event with us to do a talk, 1-day talk or something. And their fraction, the fractions of different PUAs in that country are fighting each other.
Yeah.
Sometimes physically, right? And we go in and correct it all and make everyone friends. And reframe their games as well.
This is the Venusian arts. This is the love arts. The last thing you need to do is step on each other's toes as men. There's room at the top for everyone.
Everybody.
Everyone gets a girl. There are no scarce resources, as you know, out here. We're in Bali, Indonesia right now, and this place is heaven on earth. Do you not agree? So much so that you have moved here. That says it all.
It's not an ego battle. That people think it's an ego battle. It's not an ego battle at all.
So this is the space is relatively new to me, maybe a year of coaching and helping guys, and I've only seen a couple instances of like bickering online. But the question always comes to me, it's like, I think we're all on the same mission here, the same journey. Of
we're not out to impress men, we're out to get women.
It confused me. Like, why would you be trying to shoot down another person that's trying to help the general cause of helping men level up and enjoy the art?
They're simply operating from a place of pain. When they shoot someone else down, you can tell they're operating from pain.
Yeah.
It means that their game isn't tight yet.
100%.
Yeah. Too much of this and not much of getting out of the house.
I want to be respectful of your guys' time. You guys have been so generous thus far.
That's been fun.
Yeah, it's been really enjoyable. Is there any like final closing thoughts you guys would like to share, or
Closing thoughts?
Wow, you do, as Mystery says, you have to get out of the house. You can't learn to drive a car by reading a manual.
How's this? If you're starting from scratch, you're going to need some openers, son.
Yeah.
You're gonna need some openers. So I have written a book called Hey Guys. That's a nice way of opening a group. Rather than saying, excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but I was wondering if I could ask you a question. Excuse me is the Vagrant's opener. Saying sorry is not good, right? Sorry to bother you. You're framing yourself as a bother, right? Those are 3 errors right there. And then asking to ask. Don't ask to ask. Just make a statement. Nothing can wreck this day. Happy 2025.
Yeah.
Those are 2 statements that you can make to initiate a chat without telegraphing interest, right? And it conveys a demonstration of higher value. Happy 2025. Your current emotional state is non-needy, non-threatening, and playful on the open, right? If you have some good openers, you'll be able to reduce that approach anxiety, right? So I've written a book. It's a collection of 60 plus openers, more than enough openers to handle a myriad of approach scenarios. It's called Hey Guys, and it's available at AskMystery.com. That starts you off.
We do have a course as well on AtractionUnleashed.com, which you can check out. But yeah, everything... Get the ebook and you'll see. That's where you got to start with your openers. Where else are you going to start? Start at the beginning and not the end. A lot of guys want to start in seduction.
Right.
Hey baby, can I buy you a drink? Right? That doesn't work.
Let's go home right now.
Yeah.
Hey, let's.
You got to attract the girl first, then build comfort, and then she'll seduce you. Do you want to be the chaser or be chased? Right?
Which is the better narrative arc?
Being pursued.
You want to be pursued, right? Well, that's a whole different narrative arc than most people are playing. It's what I call a game changer. Change your game.
And it all starts with, hey guys.
Hey guys. So if they want to get connected with you, purchase your material, learn from you guys directly, it was AskMystery.com and AtractionUnleashed.com. Perfect. And
They're both files.
So. Yeah, perfect. And they could reach out to you guys on Instagram or...
Yeah, Ask Mystery. And Rob Beckster.
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 I want to say thank you guys so much for your time.
And tell us one takeaway that we can get off you, because we all learn from each other.
Oh, Man, one takeaway that I find important, like you said, get outside of your house. One thing is, women don't spawn in your apartment. Like there's no button that you press.
Only with VR.
And another thing as well, it's one of the big standpoints of where I come from is like, if you like yourself, other people will like you too. And if you like yourself, you're more inclined to give yourself to the world. And if you ever tried to sell a bad product or sell something that you don't truly believe in, you keep putting up roadblocks inside of yourself, in front of yourself, so that it doesn't go through and you're actually relieved when the sale doesn't happen because you know it's not a good product.
Be lovable.
Be lovable, absolutely. And tell yourself that you are a lovable person. And with that thought comes actions, and action turn into belief, and belief turns into a personality. And one of my big things is if you like yourself, other people will like you too, and you'll be more ready and available to receive love back.
Genius.
And we do teach day game as well. But one thing I want to ask you.
Sure.
So when a woman is in high speed and she's walking down the street and she's got her headphones in and so on, what's your method of stopping her?
Right. So first and foremost, I love coming across as non-intimidating. It's a big thing, especially when they have earphones in. There's incidents where women have been attacked or anything. So I'm big open body language, open hands, open neckline, big smile. Hey, real quick, I know you're going right now. I'm headed the opposite way too, and then jumping into the set right there where I like to do this to say, hello, we're over here. This is where the fun is.
Yeah.
You're going to enjoy this conversation. It's not going to be something that's paining you. I try and match her speed immediately, then bring her back to my level. Like, hey, I know you're, but real quick, and then bring her down. I feel like a lot of guys, they allow their outside environment to determine how they feel and to determine how quick or slow that they're going to move. But I like bringing people into my world and having them join my pace. And people are like, oh, you're so happy. I'm like, I love being happy. It's my favorite emotion.
Because the one thing we find with day game that we find works really well is if you walk and talk, but with her slightly behind your shoulder with a bit of a distance.
A walk and talk. Walk in front of them, over the shoulder, initiate the chat, and it buys you 5 minutes. Wow. It's the walk and talk rather than the walk and stop. You know, there's two options basically. Of course you can walk and stop, but the walk and talk buys you time with the girl to convey, and her group, to convey your personality. One thing that I would recommend is, because women of beauty are rarely alone, they're usually in groups, get used to opening groups.
Yeah.
Get used to opening groups, and a mixed set is a group with guys in them. Some girls like guys. They hang out with guys. There's going to be guys in the group. So as long as you open in an indirect manner without conveying interest on the open, you're not alienating the guys within the group. And the truth is, if they are befriended by you, if she's going spare, they will offer her up to you, as a gift. So know that mixed sets are lucrative. That's where you are going to meet the most beautiful women. They're not going to be alone. They're going to be in groups.
So rare they just walk in by themselves.
Let's get good at working groups.
And I mean, that's the biggest
theory.
Group theory. That's the biggest pain point I feel a lot of people come across. Like, oh, she's by herself and it's the perfect situation and circumstance, and I'm 100%. But how rare is that to happen?
And then you never meet her friends. She never meets your friends, and you're expected to now know each other well enough to, shack up. To me, that's not really appropriate. It's like the fantasy of going in front of a magazine rack, seeing a girl with a magazine all by herself, and pulling her home from that scenario. I want the women in those magazines, and they're not alone. They're in groups. So sack up, face the dragon head on, strike its heart, work groups. That's where the power is at.
And a lot of the time, the guy's so happy there's another dude in set.
Yeah.
Because he's dealing with all these women. He might be with his girlfriend, or not any of them, maybe not his girlfriend, but he'd be with his girlfriend. There's some guy in spare, and he wants a buddy. Too much female energy for this one man, An
instant wingman.
And no one's talking to them.
Yeah.
So they're happy to be talked to because they're scared that there's a guy there, So, yeah, group sets, as you said, are lucrative.
Guys are just ugly girls.
It's true though. It's true. Well, thank you guys so much. I really, really,
Pleasure.
really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I know my audience is going
Kind
to.
words. Thank
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you. Thank you both. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully we get to do this again in the future. And
Yeah, we saw you work. It looked great on the other
you
night.
saw you in field. You looked absolutely
that
great.
Sunday, I think
you had
it was.
an hour-long set, so we know you're running long sets.
I prefer
Something tells me you love women.
that. And we can't end on that because I feel in today's internet age and where I came from, I got introduced to Red Pill maybe 2019-ish. Like, oh, this is a cool concept. And the way that it's transformed into something where I really feel like the men online just don't like women at all. They pray for their downfall. You can see it in the comments. You can feel it in the sentiments of their speech. I think all three of us here can agree, like, women are fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
And just
I love women. I absolutely love women. I have had a mother. I have a sister. I have a daughter. I love women. I've been shaped by women. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I think anyone that is looking for a coach, find the ones that love women.
Sure.
And don't go to the people that are just negative towards them constantly.
Right.
That's your first starting point of finding a coach.
I see some of the mentors online that make, jokes, oh, get back to the kitchen and like the misogynistic jokes. It's like,
Not funny anymore, guys.
Yeah.
Those are hack.
it's cheap.
Yeah, we never get negative press from women. We never get that, But people
Right.
tell us all the time that they're getting negative press and
Sure.
deplatformed and so on. But we don't get that.
That's one thing I try and pride myself on. It's like in my videos, you never see somebody frowning. You never see somebody brought down. It's always very much like a good experience.
You've got a 10 out of 10 energy.
That's it. That's
So you deserve a 10.
I appreciate you both so much from the bottom of my heart. This is a manifestation, a magic dream come true.
Yeah, you arrived in time today to help.
Yeah. truly.
We were on the wrong road. We just turned left, and my feet were hurting. We went for a swim, and I had my sandals on, and they were hurting. And then, of all the people in the world to come, you came on your scooter, drove me back to my place, and confirmed that we had this podcast today. So it was destiny that we're here right now.
Yeah, truly. And it was funny because I usually take one road to go to the beach, but I had not gone that way in a while, and I found myself circling back, like trying to find my right way back, and I pull up on you guys, and it was just like
Absolute destiny.
Good times.
Good time.
good times. Once again, I appreciate you guys so much. Guys at home, if you haven't already, follow these guys online. Thank you again for everything you've done from 20 years ago to now. It is appreciated.
And the game continues.
And the game, it never stops, baby. It never stops.
Get out of the house.
They don't spawn in your apartment, I promise you. Thank you guys so much.
Pleasure.
All right,
Take care.